Miss Transworld's 96 here with another review, this time with the Marvel Legends Infinite series from the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure wave, Doctor Strange. So yeah, overall going over the package here, standard package as all the other figures of Marvel Legends. Got a nice picture of Doctor Strange on this side. It does share a package with Vision, so we've got a picture on Vision of that side. The two figures, as well as the others in the assortment, we have the Marvel Now Iron Man, Movie War Machine Blizzard, Doctor Strange, Vision, Valkyrie, and Thundra. There's the Build-A-Figure. I did just buy a full case on Hasbro.com, so was able to avoid the hassle of finding them in stores. Plus, it was even cheaper. So yeah, overall, this was one of the very few figures I was actually looking forward to in this wave. This wave mostly consisted of figures that I really could care less about, but of course I did buy in order to complete the Build-A-Figure. However, this was actually a figure I was looking forward to. Doctor Strange is a big character in Marvel, and of course with his upcoming movie in just a little bit over a year, this was definitely a figure that interests me. Although it's in a modern costume, which I'd much rather have a classic costume. I have a feeling they went with this costume though, because probably they will do a Doctor Strange wave in next November of 2016, and most likely there we'll probably get a classic Doctor Strange figure, so I'm assuming that that's what will happen, and that's why they went with a slightly different modern version of this this costume. So yeah. Overall, quickly just talking about his accessories while I have him on here, he does have these kind of magical, I don't know what you'd call them, blasts or charging up little accessories that that he's got on his hands here. These originally came with Scarlet Witch. Overall, when they came with her, you know, I like the idea of them, just I wasn't too fond of using them. I didn't think they looked too good. On Doctor Strange, however, I think that they look pretty nice, and definitely give him a interesting type of look, that's for sure. These are painted in a very bright and a bit of translucent green, while Scarlet Witch's were pink. So yeah, so couple repainted accessories, but definitely interesting accessories, and ones that don't feel forced. You know, these are definitely accessories that you can see coming with Doctor Strange, which is nice. Going over the actual figure here, it's quite good. It's got some new sculpted parts too, which is of course always interesting. It's not just a repaint or anything. Overall, the head sculpt looks quite good. Got a nice, you've got some interesting, you know, kind of movement going on in the eyebrows. He looks like he's thinking or projecting some sort of spell. You've got the mustache there, the famous Doctor Strange mustache, looking great. You've got the hair with a nice white streak on either side. Overall, a pretty interesting face sculpt. I definitely believe that this face sculpt is completely new. I don't think this is reused at all. The body sculpt for the most part is reused, just a standard, you know, body sculpt that like Blizzard has from this wave, and I believe Vision has. It's the standard one that they use for just about everybody. The parts that are new though are the gauntlets here, which are pretty interesting. They're actually like textured. They look almost organic. Pretty interesting type of look. They look like they have a ton of dents in them basically. And then the hands, I'm not quite sure if these are new. I believe they're new. I don't have a figure that has these hands. I'm surprised that they didn't just repaint Spider-Man's hands, but it looks like those are new hands. I don't think that these are repaints from anybody. If they are, I'd love to know. Please tell me in the comments. But I believe that those are completely new hands, which is really interesting and very great to know. And it is nice that they did give him kind of power-posed hands, basically, and not just your standard fists or something. You know, they obviously catered to the character as far as the hand choices. And then he does have this almost skirt type of thing going on here. It's black, but it does have like a tassel of this red. It looks really great. It's kind of blowing to one side, which is nice. It makes it look a little bit more interesting. And because it's blowing to that side, it frees up the articulation on this leg quite a lot, too. So that is nice that it doesn't really hinder articulation too much. Overall, really liking that. And that's a completely new piece as far as I'm aware. Overall, the paint is quite good. You've got a nice dark black. The red is all very dark, which I like a lot. It's not bright. And considering this is supposed to be a modern Doctor Strange costume, I would imagine the colors are much darker and not so bright and colorful as the original ones are, of course. You've got a nice just kind of gold belt buckle there. It is metallic as well, very shiny. And overall, looking pretty good, I have to say. Articulation is great, you know, standard articulation, basically. He's got a ball hinge neck there. Ab crunch, which crunches back pretty decent amount, and forward pretty decent. He's got a swivel there. Ball hinge shoulders with the bicep swivel. Oh, and Blizzard just fell off the table there. He's got a double hinge elbow, but being that this is a newly sculpted kind of gauntlet here, it does hinder it a bit. So this is as far forward as it bends. Usually it can bend, further than that, but because there is a bit of a lip here on this gauntlet area, it does hinder it, unfortunately. He's got a ball hinge, or hinge swivel wrist. He's got ball jointed thighs, a little bit hindered on this thigh. You can still move it up quite a lot, and because this is a softer plastic, but it does hinder it quite a little bit, but not too bad at all. And you can also like raise this section up. So if you really are trying to get a dynamic pose, you can kind of raise this up or pull it down when you just have him standing there, which is pretty nice. It's got a bicep swivel, or sorry, thigh swivel, a double hinge knee, hinge or swivel at the kind of calf area, and then you've got a hinge pivoting ankle. Great pivot, of course. So overall, a pretty decent figure. Some newly sculpted areas, not just a complete repaint, of course. It is done in a classic, or in a modern costume. While I would have probably preferred a classic one, it is fine because I do believe that we will get a classic Doctor Strange pretty soon here within the next year or so. So overall, do like this figure quite a lot, and it's definitely one of the best of the wave. I have to say this one and Vision are probably the best of the waves, and then got a couple repaints, but some good repaints, and then a couple of kind of other figures that are a little bit of a miss, like the Marvel Now Iron Man. But overall, this is a pretty nice figure, and probably, I would consider this probably the second best of the wave, but it's pretty good though, I have to say. There you go, that's my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite series from the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure wave of Doctor Strange. Thanks so much for watching.